Howdy, partner. The name's Woody. Woody Pride. I'm Andy's favorite toy, his trusty companion. We've been through thick and thin together, from the wildest adventures to the quietest moments. To Andy, I'm more than just a toy. I'm a friend, a confidant, and a protector. At least that's what they want you to think. The truth is far more complex, far darker than anyone could imagine. The truth, it's far more sinister. You see, there's a hidden story behind my plastic eyes, a story that no one knows. You see, I'm not just a toy, I'm Andy's father. Yes, you heard that right. Trapped within this hand-stitched shell, I watch over my son, bound by a curse that has twisted my fate. Trapped within this hand-stitched shell, I watch over my son. Every day I see him grow, laugh and cry. I witness every moment of his life, unable to reveal my true identity. Every laugh, every tear, every adventure. I'm there. But my presence is no blessing. It's a curse, a dark shadow that looms over our lives. But my presence is no blessing. It's a curse. A dark pact binds me to this plastic prison, a constant reminder of the evil that saved my son's life. A dark pact binds me to this plastic prison, a constant reminder of the evil that saved my son's life. You see, in a desperate attempt to protect Andy, I made a deal with forces beyond our world. This is the story they don't tell you in the movies. The story of a father who would do anything to save his child, even if it meant losing his humanity. This is the truth behind the cheerful facade of Toy Story. The truth about the toys that come alive when you're not looking, and the dark secrets they hide. The truth about the toys that come alive when you're not looking. They are not just playthings. They are guardians, protectors, and sometimes prisoners of their own pasts. And the boy who's none the wiser about the demonic forces protecting him. Andy has no idea of the sacrifices made for his safety. The dark magic that keeps him safe from harm. This is the untold story of Woody Pride, the sheriff with a secret, a father trapped in a toy's body forever watching over his son. It all started with a tragic accident. I was a young man then, full of life and love for my wife and newborn son, Andy. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. A drunk driver, a screech of tires, and then darkness. I was gone, leaving behind a heartbroken wife and a son who would never know his father. My wife, distraught and desperate, sought solace in the most unlikely of places. Ancient texts, whispered rumors of forbidden magic. She yearned for my return, for a way to shield our son from the cruel hand of fate that had taken me. Little did she know her grief would lead her down a path of no return. Driven by her grief, my wife found herself at the doorstep of darkness. She had lost all hope, her heart shattered into a million pieces. The weight of our son's future pressed heavily on her shoulders, and in her desperation she sought out the one being she believed could offer a solution, no matter the cost. A collector of souls, a weaver of fates, a being of immense power and insatiable hunger. This entity thrived on the despair and sorrow of those who came to him, feeding off their misery to grow stronger. He was known by many names, but to us he was simply the devil himself. He offered her a deal, my essence, in exchange for a lifetime of servitude. My wife, blinded by her grief and driven by her love for our son, agreed without hesitation. She believed that this was the only way to ensure Andy's safety and happiness, even if it meant sacrificing her own soul in the process. He promised to bind my soul to an object, a vessel that would keep me close to Andy. This object would serve as a constant reminder of my presence, a silent guardian watching over him. It was a bittersweet promise, one that offered both comfort and sorrow. An object that would become his protector, his guardian against the unseen forces that lurked in the shadows. These forces, dark and malevolent, sought to harm our son, to drag him into the same abyss that had claimed so many others. The object would shield him from their grasp, but at a great cost. It was a tempting offer, a chance to be near my son, even if it meant eternal imprisonment. The thought of being able to watch over Andy, to protect him from the darkness that threatened to consume him, was enough to make the sacrifice seem worthwhile. But the reality of the situation was far more complex and harrowing. But the devil's gifts are never free. He demanded a price, a sacrifice to seal the pact. This price was not just my soul, but the very essence of our family's happiness. The darkness that would be bound to the object would seep into our lives, tainting every moment with its sinister presence. Each toy Andy received, each new friend that entered his life would house a fragment of the darkness. These toys, seemingly innocent and harmless, would carry with them the weight of the pact, a constant reminder of the deal that had been struck. They would be both protectors and harbingers of doom. They would be bound to protect him, yes, but their presence would forever taint his innocence with an undercurrent of menace. The toys, with their dark secrets and hidden dangers, would become a part of Andy's life, shaping his experiences and influencing his actions in ways we could never have anticipated. The price of the pact was steep, and its consequences would ripple through our lives for years to come. Our family, once whole and happy, was now torn apart by the dark forces that had been unleashed. We struggled to maintain a semblance of normalcy, to shield Andy from the full extent of the darkness that surrounded him. But the shadows were always there, lurking just out of sight, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. My wife, driven by her anguish and determination, did everything in her power to protect our son. She fought against the darkness with every ounce of strength she had, never giving up hope that one day we might find a way to break free from the pact. And I, bound to the object, watched over them both, my silent sacrifice a testament to the love I had for my family. Despite the overwhelming darkness, there were moments of hope, brief glimpses of light that reminded us of the love and resilience that bound us together. These moments, though fleeting, gave us the strength to continue fighting, to believe that one day we might find a way to reclaim our lives from the shadows. In the end, it was our love for each other that kept us going, that gave us the courage to face the future together. No matter the cost, no matter the sacrifices we had to make, we would continue to fight for our family, to protect Andy from the darkness that sought to consume him. And in that fight, we found our true strength, our true purpose. The devil chose my old Stetson hat as my prison. He weaved his dark magic, fusing my soul with the worn leather and stitching. It was agonizing, like being pulled apart and sewn back together with needles of fire. When the pain finally subsided, I found myself staring out from the plastic eyes of a cowboy doll. My wife, her face etched with sorrow and a chilling determination, wrote Andy's name on the bottom of my boot. It was her handwriting, but with a subtle tremor, a darkness that clung to the ink. It was a constant reminder of the price she had paid and the burden she had placed upon our son. As Andy grew, so did his collection of toys. Each birthday, each holiday, and even random days in between brought new additions to his ever-expanding toy room. The shelves began to overflow with action figures, dolls, and stuffed animals, each one seemingly more lifelike than the last. The room, once a place of innocent play, began to take on a different atmosphere, one that was both enchanting and unsettling. Each new addition brought with it another lost soul, another demon bound to protect him. These toys were not just inanimate objects. They were vessels for spirits, guardians of a sort, each with its own dark history. The haunted doll collection, with their glassy eyes and eerie smiles, seemed to watch over Andy, their presence both comforting and disturbing. They were his protectors, but at what cost? Buzz Lightyear, the Space Ranger, was a fallen angel, his wings clipped and his fiery spirit contained within a plastic shell. Once a celestial being of great power, he had been cast down and trapped in this diminutive form. His eyes, though painted on, seemed to hold a depth of sorrow and rage, a silent testament to his lost glory. He was a warrior, bound by duty to protect Andy, yet forever yearning for the freedom he once knew. Mr. Potato Head, with his detachable limbs and ever-shifting features, embodied the formless dread that lurked just beyond the veil of reality. His ability to disassemble and reassemble himself at will made him a master of disguise, a trickster who could change his appearance to suit his needs. But beneath his playful exterior lay a malevolent spirit, one that thrived on chaos and fear. His shifting features were a reflection of the ever-changing nature of the darkness that surrounded him. When Andy wasn't around, the toys revealed their true nature. The room, bathed in the soft glow of a nightlight, became a stage for their nocturnal activities. They moved with a life of their own, their actions driven by unseen forces. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, a palpable sense of anticipation and dread. It was in these moments that the true power of the toys was revealed, their roles as protectors and tormentors laid bare. Buzz's laser pointer flickered with an infernal glow, his voice a chilling whisper of commands from a forgotten war. He was a leader, a strategist, his mind sharp and his resolve unyielding. The red beam of his laser cut through the darkness, a symbol of his authority and power. His voice, though soft, carried the weight of countless battles, each word a command that brooked no disobedience. He was a guardian, but also a tyrant, his protection coming at a steep price. Mr. Potato Head's eyes darted around, his grin widening into a grotesque mockery of joy as he delighted in tormenting the weaker toys. He was a predator, his every move calculated to instill fear and uncertainty. His grin, ever-changing, was a mask that hid his true intentions, a facade of friendliness that belied his cruel nature. He thrived on the fear of others, his power growing with each shiver and gasp. In the darkened room, he was a king, ruling over his domain with an iron fist and a twisted sense of glee. Through it all, I watched over Andy. I guided his hand during playtime, shared his laughter, and soothed his fears. But my love, once pure and unconditional, was now tainted by the darkness that clung to me. Every embrace was a reminder of my imprisonment, every shared secret, a whisper of the truth he could never know. The joy I felt in his presence was always tinged with a bitter awareness of the price he would one day have to pay.